I want you to be able to build a system that you can work with, okay? And it doesn't stress you. Now, people say things are hard because they don't have systems. So you can imagine you trying to drive your car from maybe point A to point B. If you live in VI and you want to drive to Ekpe, it's the system in the car that makes it easy for you. So all you need to sit down there, turn on the ignition and move. So if that's mechanical, because the car has mechanical, has electrical, has air conditioning, has a lot. So if those systems are not functioning, there's no way that car can move you from Lekki to or VI to Ekpe or whatever you're heading to. So that's what I want to do today. And I pray that whatever I'm saying today, you will get it and begin to apply it. Okay. Now, every wealthy person from Elon Musk to Steve Jobs all had a wealth system. There's no wealthy person today that you will call and they won't tell you that there's a system they're operating. Okay. So if you're looking at creating wealth, you need to build system. Now, I want to start with a confession. Like many people, okay, I knew a few things about money. Of course, everybody on this call, you know about investing, you know about budgeting, you know about negotiating. I want to grow my career. This is what I can do. So we have basic ideas, but if you look at the outcome, it does not match the ideas that we have. It does not match the maybe education that we have. They said if you go to school, you come out and make money. Many of us have gone to school. We came out and we're still struggling. The economy is not helping. So I later realized, I think it was during COVID, I realized that, look, I just had a one-sided picture. Do you understand? Because I was running an external system that when the external system failed, it affected me. So I now knew I needed to build an internal system that only me can control, irrespective of the external system. So that was when I started looking at the deeper dimension of wealth creation, wealth building, and all that. Anybody that says they don't need money is lying. Do you understand? Because money is a tool. You live in a house now because you're paying your rent. You're able to go to school because you can afford it. Your family is well taken care of because you have the means. Okay. And if you're a Christian on this call, the gospel is also going to be spread abroad by wealth. You understand? So everybody needs money, but I'm not saying worship it. But as much as possible, you're on this call because I don't want money to be a problem for you. Okay, you have to be in a position where it's there. It's just like the way you're breathing oxygen. Okay, so God has made oxygen available for you. You're not struggling to breathe. You understand? Because it's everywhere. It's also the same way that he has created a system to empower his people. And it's what I want to show you today. I'm not going to sound religious, but I'm going to show you exactly what God has set in place to help you. And if you begin to do the things I asked you to do today, in no time, 6 months, 3 months, 90 days, you're going to see some results in your life. So when I realized what I'm going to teach you today, my perspectives changed. I began to see that true wealth is not just about accumulating for yourself. No. Okay, it is measured by the capacity you build, 1. 2, the people you bless, 2, people you help, and how also you're able to impact others. That's the reason why God gives wealth. So when I realized this, I began to see work, maybe money, growth, and purpose in a different way. Okay, so remember what I said now, that true wealth is measured by a capacity to bless, to build, okay, and also to help others and impact others. So that is my story. Genesis chapter 12, I'll start from verse 2, says, you know the story of Abraham. That's what I'm going to read for you, okay? He says, I will make of thee a great nation. Now, this is God talking to Abraham. He said, I'll make you a great nation. And he said, I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. Now, this is God talking to a man. I can tell you that he believed God, because I'll go back to verse 1. But let's continue. And he said, I will bless them that bless you. I will curse them that curse you. And in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Now, this is God having a conversation with man. And he's telling him, I will make you a great nation. Now, if God appears today and tells you, I will make you a great nation, will you believe him? Will you believe him? But Abraham believed him. I'm going to break this thing down for you. So, we're here and I'm trying to communicate. Now, listen, the Bible said, in you shall all the families of the earth be blessed. You're on the call this morning. Do you understand? Because the basis of the wealth I'm going to talk about today is based on this scripture. Genesis chapter 12, verse 2. God chose to make a man great. He said, I'll make you a great nation. So I will make you a great, I'm an architect, that's my word. I'll make you a great builder. That's my word. Now, if you're an estate person here, I'll make you a great estate valuer. I don't know what you're doing, but can you just put your name or your portfolio or your vehicle for wealth creation in this word I just spoke now? Is it a great nation? Is it a great content creator? Is it a great doctor? Is it a great entrepreneur? Is it a great engineer? Is it a great consultant? Is it a great developer? Is it a great investor? Is it a great planner? Is it a great mentor? What is God telling you this morning? Or what has He even told you? I want you to leave this meeting this morning with an understanding. See, I said it before. See, the way you don't struggle to breathe oxygen, it's everywhere. God wants to bless you. Now, remember, Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 13. Nobody can steal it from me. It's not possible. No matter how you try. I remember those days, my pastor would say, if you like, take me away from Nigeria, plant me in the desert, I'll still produce the same wealth. Do you understand? Because he understands the system I'm going to teach you now. Okay, the Bible said, but thou shalt remember the Lord your God, for it is he that giveth thee the power to create wealth. Now, the first time he told it to Abraham, and now Abraham is gone. He's reminding the people in Deuteronomy, Israel. And today, I'm borrowing God's voice. I'm also reminding you. Do you understand? There's a God that has given you the power to make wealth. Do you understand? There's a God that has given you the power to make wealth. And I'm going to explain to you what you're going to do. You know what Abraham did. Now, remember, I will make you a great nation. Say what I said this morning. What is he making you? Somebody posted in the comment section. I like what you just said there. Okay, I'm going to make you a great content creator and all that. I love that. If you believe it, you will get it. Now, so there are different dimensions to wealth. Okay, the one most of us know is a financial wealth, monetary abundance, investment and savings. That's the one we see. But there's also time wealth. Okay, the freedom and flexibility to choose whatever you want to choose to spend your time on. And that is when some people retire at 30, at 40. If you learn this thing on time, you can retire on time. And for me, I've taken it as a passion and as a vision. Okay, nobody is going to stop me from speaking this. I will keep saying it until the young ones understand the process and begin to do it. I'm teaching my kids. They're in the university. They're making money. Not all of them. You cannot come back. See, and they're not making money to train themselves. Though. They're making money so that they can also be wealthy. Of course, it's our job as parents to train them, but let them start. Nobody will do guy for them. Whenever they graduate from school, they can make money. If there are no jobs, they can make money. Okay. So the next one is time wealth. Remember what I said: freedom and flexibility to choose how to spend your time. There are some of us that even church you cannot go on Sunday. Why? You're working. Personal development trainings you cannot take. Why? You're working. Because you've so much mortgaged it that there's no time to do other things. Okay, so that's time wealth. This next one is social wealth. You have strong relationships. You can join professional networks. You know. So now let me explain to you. I used to be. That's why I said when I started initially. Of course, I made a lot of mistakes because I used to be a loner. I would just stay in a room and I would not talk. So over the years, I've done courses. There was one I did it at SNIPS. I think it was 2 years ago. They wanted to make me social director. In my mind, I'm like, social director for what? But that would tell you the level of transformation. I changed my identity from that one that is reserved to the people person. I spoke to everybody in the room. Do you understand? Because the next person could be my next point of contact for breakthrough. Do you understand? So I make it a point of duty to help everybody around me have a good experience so that next time an opportunity comes, they remember me. Do you understand? So you have to build strong relationships. I have networking goals this month. So if you're the kind of person that I used to ask them that when I'm doing trainings, and I say, if your current circle of people, maybe your closest circle, 10, 20, if you need 100K and they cannot give you, somebody here, your camera is on. I think you should switch it off so that you'd save your data. Okay, so just switch off your camera if it's on. Everybody just check so that you can save data and we can finish the meeting. Okay, yeah. So well, I've lost my track, but yeah, I was talking about social. So I said, so if people in your circle, just check your circle, or maybe your first 20, your first 30, and maybe you ask them for 100K and they can give you. It's fine. Not 100K because you're in need, but they can willingly give you. Then you check the next level. There are people around me I can collect 1 million from. Not collecting, but if I cough, they'll give me 1M. that determines how wealthy your circle is, not people that are maybe dragging you down. I'm not saying have people that you're better than most of the time. No. Of course, there are people that you're better than that should also be able to give 1 million or 100K when they ask you, but also have people that are ahead of you that you're striving to be like. Then finally is the physical wealth. So your good health and your well-being. So remember, dimensions of health: financial wealth, monetary abundance. I'm addressing it today. Time wealth. You should be able to choose your freedom and your flexibility. There's a form I'm going to share at the end of the day. I was talking about exponential growth, how you need to leverage certain tools to grow exponentially. Okay, and part of it is your time. It's your time. You should have freedom to do the things that matter. There's social wealth and physical wealth. Okay, so remember what I said about true wealth. It is measured by your capacity to bless people, to impact people, and also be a blessing. So I hope I'm not moving too fast, though. Yeah, I hope I am not, but I'm trying to, meet up in like 30 or 45 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to go deep into the operating system now. But before I do that, I want to show you something. I love Abraham. Now, remember, I read Genesis chapter 12, verse 2 and 3. I'm going to read verse 1 now. Now, verse 1 says, go out of your country into a land I will show you. That's KJV. It says, leave your country. There's a land I'm showing you. Why did God not bless Abraham in his father's country? Why did he tell him to leave? And if you go to verse 11, you find out where his father was also trying to leave, but never made it to Canaan. He died in Haran. Okay, so he said, for your own good, leave this your country. For your own good, leave this your environment. He said, for your own advantage, amplified version. He says, away from your country, from your relatives, from your father's house, to a land that I will show you. Now, see, the problem is that there's nobody on the call this morning that our environment did not affect us. Now, some of us grew up, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, no, okay? Maybe it's good to manage resources, do you understand? But some of us grew up in an environment that is affecting our mindsets, okay, on how we can build wealth, how we can add value, how we can improve our capacity. You understand? Some of us grew up in that environment that is limiting us. Okay? Now, Abraham could not become the father of many nations, thinking like the man he was like yesterday. No, he left his father's country. So growth now, as I'm talking to you in this quarter, next quarter, this year, will need you to move away from your old environment. So when I say old environment, it could be circles you're in that is not adding value to you. I beg, leave it for your own good. It could be an old mindset, and I'm going to talk about it. Leave it, is not adding value to you. It could be some old standards. Leave it, is not adding value to you. It could be some old identity. This is where you see yourself. Leave it, is not adding value to you. So for Abraham, that transformation happened when he left. So I'm talking about, I called it wealth operating system. It will require leaving your old country. So I'm going to use that word country. What is that old country? You've tried, it's not working. Today we'll leave it. Those things that you're doing, is not producing results for you. We'll leave it. It's not working. So here's what nobody told you. Now, I'm talking about identity now. Abraham needed to go. Even Jesus, for goodness sake. The Bible said a prophet is without honor in his own town. In his village, they did not even respect him. Abraham needed to go. He needed to build a new identity. He left. Now, your identity will always determine your action. Your action will determine your outcomes. Then your outcomes will now confirm your identity. So you've been hearing a lot about identity. It is very, very important. You must know who you are. Do you understand? And what you can do. So if your current identity does not support your wealth creation goals, you need to upgrade it. So one thing about identity is that it affects your mindset. That's why we'll talk about changing it. Do you understand? Because what you don't know is that your mind is an unconscious system that most times sabotages our outcomes or improves it. Now, let me tell you how you will know that. Now, if you drive, it happens to me, but it's not good though. I will leave okay, I'll just set up, maybe I'm driving somewhere. I'll just realize for maybe like 5 minutes, my mind was not on the steering and I got to where I was going. How now? I was busy thinking of different things, but I noticed I was driving. So you can imagine I was driving in an unconscious mode. Do you understand? Because my mind was not on the steering. And it's the same thing happening to your life. So most times we drive our lives in an unconscious mode. Now, if you're going, so that's why some things you do them unconsciously. So I'm talking to 3 people on the call this morning. Okay. And now these 3 people I'm talking on the call, just listening to me. Number 1, you're the achiever. You're successful in your career. You want to create personal wealth, but you're still struggling to build it. Okay. You're making money. You're trying to build wealth, but you find out that you're trading your time for money, but you're struggling to create a system that will work for you. If you're an achiever, I'm talking to you. This meeting is for you. Now, the second set of people I want to talk to are the founders. You've started something. Maybe you're making money, or maybe you're not making money, but you know that there's a way to 10x my result, but you still don't know it. You can feel it, but you don't know what you're missing, but you just know that I'm not far from this thing. I'm talking to you. Then there are people I call builders. You've realized that this thing I'm doing does not work. It's not working for me anymore. I know I can make wealth. I know I can shape my identity, but I just don't have the framework. So if you're here this morning, this session has your name written all over it. So I want us to explore this thing together. Now, I'm making you 3 promises. Number 1, now by the end of this session, okay, you are going to understand what has been stopping you. And it's not what you think. Just listen. I'm going to let you know. You're going to understand the identity shift required. Then you're going to get the actual framework you need. You understand the operating system I promised you. Then before we leave, we must have our first steps. What will I do on Monday morning? What's Monday date? I'm not sure, but you must tell me what exactly I'm going to do starting from Monday. So you must understand one thing. Understanding does not bring transformation. Now, what brings transformation is when you decide to apply what you are hearing today or what you have heard before, and you declare, I'm going to shift so that my results can shift today. Now, there are 3 lies. I want to deal with those lies before I start saying what I'm going to say. So the first lie is, this is not for me. That lie, better kill it now. Do you understand? Because you may be like, it's not for me. I don't have the money. It's not. So very soon now she'll tell me to go and invest. Or very soon now she'll go and tell me to, whatever she tells me to do, I can't do it. See that lie? Kill it. Do you understand? And this is not for me lie. When you give yourself excuses, all the people on this call that are giving themselves excuses, please let those excuses end. Okay, so if it is, why is it not for you? You tell yourself this is not for me. Why is it not for you? Why is it for some other person? Wealth is predictable. It follows patterns, and when you understand the pattern, then you begin to create it consistently. So the people that are creating wealth have a system that is different from yours running in the background. I'm going to show you what you need to do. So your first truths you're going to tell yourself is, I can do this. Just tell yourself, I can. Remember, God said it, I will make you great. If he makes you great now, then get some capacity. He said, I'm giving you the power. You're now the one that makes wealth. So there has to be some commitment from your end. Now, the second one lie that we've told ourselves is that you've not, see, some of these lies you're telling yourself, but you don't know that they are lies you're telling yourself. And that second lie is that your identity is fixed. Okay? This is who I am, and I've accepted it. It's a serious lie you're telling yourself. Okay? So now let me tell you why your identity is not fixed. Remember what I said before. Your identity is a story you tell yourself. The day you change that story, people will see that story and also begin to tell the same story you're telling yourself. So you can rewrite it. So I don't know if you're on the call, let's do an exercise. Who are the people that you know that their identity has shifted over time? There are people that are influential in your life. You can mention them, check it. How they move from 0 to hero. It's a rewritten identity. They just kept rewriting it until they got there. So identity can never be fixed. It's not possible. Even for Abraham, the one I'm talking about, his identity was not fixed. That guy was poor, living in his father's house. All of a sudden, they're telling him he'll be father of many nations. What are we talking about? Okay, so what happens when you change identity? Your brain will start noticing opportunities. Your decision-making skill change, then also your actions will align. I hope you're following me. If you're following me, please, can I say an emoji so that I know that I'm not too far from you, please. Okay, so who is following this morning? Can I see? Okay, let me see. Yes, good. So yeah, at least I'm not speaking too much grammar. Thank you so much. I'm not, because I don't want to speak. If I speak too much grammar, then I failed you. Okay. Then finally, one more lie we'll tell ourselves is that this whole thing is complicated. And I told you my story. There were times things were bad. I just felt the entire process was complicated. So I won't blame you if you think the process is complicated. Anything that looks complicated to you is complicated because you don't understand the system. That's just it. But as soon as you master it, you see the ones operating it, it is simple to them because you understand it. You understand? So building wealth is not complicated. So there are investment strategies. Once you learn it, you own it. Now, people that build wealth take advantage of tax planning. If you learn it, you own it. Now, people that build wealth have career models and business models they follow. If you learn it, you own it. Yeah, so you must understand it. I learned it from Brian Tracy. He said all skills are learnable. So don't let anybody intimidate you any day with any skill. There's nothing that you want to be. If I want to become a doctor, it's not to go to school. I'll become a doctor. So there's nothing in this life I want to be that I cannot become. Skill. All skills are learnable. So somebody on this call this morning, tell yourself, if I want to become wealthy, I can. All skills are learnable. It's just for me to learn how to do it. And I begin to do it and I'll see the results. That's the mindset shift I want you to have this morning. It's not complicated. So now the system has clear principles. It has predictable actions. It has measurable results and also repeatable patterns. Okay, so remember, that's why I said I'm speaking big. It's not big, but you must get used to it. Okay. Number one, I said clear principles. We're going to obey those principles. I said predictable actions and results, measurable results. If you do this, you'll get this result. If a man sleeps with a woman, action, predictable result, baby on boy. You see, repeatable pattern, more sleeping, more babies. It's the same thing. That's the powerful thing about principles. Once you obey the law, you'll keep having repeatable results and also repeatable patterns. So you have to understand that. Okay, so I'm going to go to the OS today. Now, see what those lies do to you. I call them patterns. Please, if there's another thing, so I know you're learning a lot of things from me today. So another thing I want you to learn from me is pattern. If you see something repeating over a time that is not good, it means it's a pattern, because you may not know. So I've learned to arrest patterns. So because those patterns are what is creating either a positive result or negative result in your life. So sometimes you need to slow down and check the results you're getting. Okay, if it is not favorable, then you're repeating patterns. Find out what you're doing that is producing those patterns. Now, so these lies, what they do is that they make you to wait. You will accept it. You will give up. You understand? But I'm trying to tell you this morning that there's another opportunity for you to put in the work and get the results. So I'm going to explain to you just 4 things. Okay, I have how many more minutes to go? 20. And then I'll take your questions. Okay, so now there are just 4 components that I need you to apply, and you're going to see things shift for you. Remember what I said about Abraham. So the first component, I'm back to it. There's a book I'm writing on identity. It'll be out very soon. My schedule is not allowing me, but it's going to be out very soon. Do you understand? So there's nothing that you do that your identity is not responsible for your results. Even Jesus, when I think about it, read the Bible. Over 50 times, he kept telling us, acknowledging his source. He would tell us that he's from the Father. He was trying to acknowledge his identity each time he operated. Even Jesus did it. There's nobody on earth that succeeded that did not identify themselves either with the power of God, gets us or identify themselves with his power, identify themselves with the provision, identify for Solomon, it was God's wisdom. Do you understand? So you need to know who you are and what you have. That's why a lot of people lose battles. Okay, now is this identity issues that produce maybe middle class actions and outcomes? Okay, so now there's a way your brain works, and let me tell you how it works. Have you noticed that your brain will always keep reminding you? It used to happen to me a lot that time when when I didn't understand this. You will just sit down. It will tell you just one simple mistake you made, though. That brain will tell you you're a failure. And it will show you truly how you're a failure. And you will just sit back and like, wow. Okay. Maybe last month you set a goal, you did not meet that goal. The same brain will keep taunting you, and you're like, I said it, I cannot do it. Do you understand? So it just keeps building that negative identity because your brain is supposed to support you. That's the thing. So if you don't understand our system, our human, sorry, I don't want to go into that, but the spirit, soul, and body, what your brain does for you is to support you in producing whatever you create internally. So if what you have developed for yourself is a negative identity, I'm telling you that your brain will support that process and make sure that your results are negative. So you tell yourself, I work very hard, I cannot build wealth. Your brain will make sure that it supports that notion and will never open your eyes to opportunities around you. There are people that enter spaces, immediately they start seeing opportunities. I tell you those, I told you when I went to NIPS, when I entered there, I had a mission. Why? Because my identity changed. If you had gone there like, I don't like talking to anybody, I just came here to do course, I'll be the one to lose. But I had changed my identity. I show up. Okay? You tell somebody, I'm just good at my work. Are you not good at making money? It's an identity issue. You tell somebody, I can save money and I can do that. Before uncle, what of building it? Can't you be the kind of person that builds wealth? Can't you be the kind of person that builds wealth? Okay? So your identity changes when you change how you see yourself. So you can imagine if you start calling yourself, you say, now I'm a wealth creator. Do you know what your brain will start doing for you? You keep saying it, you keep saying it. All of a sudden, your mind will start producing results in that area. What do wealth creators do? They make investments. They buy land. They attend trainings. They invest money. They monitor their investments. They go for financial trainings. Do you understand? That is how your unconscious mind will start supporting you. Okay, that's how it starts supporting you. Now, you can just imagine what I read for you in Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. If you can change your identity to, 1, I'm a great nation. I'm a great architect. I'm a great builder. I'm a great doctor. I'm blessed. My name is great. That's what God told Abraham. I'm not boasting. It's in the scripture. I carry the blessing. People bless me. They are blessed because you now get to a point where people are struggling to bless you with things because when they bless you, they are blessed. That was Abraham's story. And I can tell you there are people currently on earth today that people bless them because they want to be blessed. They are looking for an opportunity to show up in their lives. And I'm trusting God for everybody on the call this morning that we're going to step into that phase in our lives, okay, when we can really be blessed. Our names will be great. We'll carry the blessing. People will bless us. And then also, anyone that blesses us is blessed. Okay, so I hope you're understanding this identity pattern again. Okay, so try to remember I said it is a pattern recognition machine. Program it in such a way that it begins to recognize good patterns and good opportunities. Go away from your old country. Leave your father's house. If you can make this decision, then it can change everything because your brain will begin to recognize the right opportunities and things that you're trusting God for. Now, the second thing I'm going to talk about, okay, is So now, when I'm talking about identity, remember I'm talking about mindset. So you have to change it. I'm not saying go and do affirmation. No, I'm going beyond affirmation. Now you have to take a decision. Because some of us are making affirmations. Somebody called me one day last week, and she's finding it hard to pay rent. And I'm like, so what are you doing? She tells me she's praying. For goodness sake, do you know the widow of Zarephath was also praying, I'm sure, and that was why God sent her that prophet. Now, if she was not a Jew, she wouldn't have entertained that prophet. So I know she was praying. But when an opportunity came, she identified that opportunity. So prayer alone does not work. Please hear me on this call this morning. No. So I'm showing you the things that work. So the second thing now is mindset, because most times our old mindset will produce sometimes fear-based, scarcity-based decisions and actions. You understand? So some of us now will say money is scarce. I have to work hard to earn it and it will take forever. No. I'm going to tell you. So, we talked about the wealth operating system. Just 3 things I need you to install now. 3. Now, one of them is, remember, the title of this webinar or conversation is the conversation we're having. So when I finish talking, you talk. So the first system you're going to install today is that money is a tool. Now, everybody on this call, you're joining this call with a phone. Why? Your phone is a tool. Everybody has a tool. Now, for some people, your phone is just for you to make calls. My phone does not make calls. So for some of us, I can transfer money, watch movie, pray with it, read my Bible, network, sell. Tool. Phone is a tool. That's what you got. That's why you got it. So the same way, money is a tool. It's not bad. So understand it. Money is a tool. I must have it. Somebody type it there. Say money is a tool. I must have it. Do you understand? Because if you have it, you can also, so I tell people, I beg, just have it, then empower people, or have it and send it to me if you don't need it. You have to have it. So it is not bad. It is not limited. It is not scarce. It is just a tool for creating options. So you must learn how to get it and also learn how to do it well. Remember, I'm talking about mindset. Money is a tool. Now, the second one is that you must so when money is a tool, remember, don't misuse it. So if money is a tool, I will use it to build investments. I use it to empower myself and empower others. What are you using it for? You understand how money works now? And the second one, money flows to value, not to hard work. Now, sometimes I'm driving and I go to sites, okay, and I come out of the car. The sun is hot. That's hot. I have to wear sometimes I have to wear face caps because the sun is hot. Sometimes when I get to my kids are like, you've gone dark. Nobody, I didn't stay inside the whole day. I just want to see what they are doing. There are laborers that have been there. Sometimes when we're casting slabs, maybe they'll cast some money tonight. These guys will be under the hot sun, casting. So we'll beat them. On that day, they worked harder than me because I didn't do anything. I was just looking. That's hard work. But does money flow to hard work? No, money flows to value. Okay, people that are solving problems or creating something valuable. So I beg you, this month, whatever you're doing, can you think of how to make it more valuable for more people? Okay, money flows to value. So the more value I can provide, the more money I have. Or the more money I can provide to more people, the more money I have. Okay, so that is it. Now remember, Abraham was a farmer. He was providing value. Food was available. Animals were available. They could eat ram. So he was providing value and God blessed him. Now, so that's the first thing. I said that number 1, money is a tool. 2, money flows to value. And 3, leverage is required. Now, what is leverage? You must build wealth by trading. Remember what I you cannot build wealth by trading your time for money. Yes. Okay. So you can build wealth by trading systems. So if you try to trade your time for money, like the instance I just gave, you can choose that. No, I don't want to choose that. Okay. So leverage means I'm not building wealth by trading my time. I can build wealth by trading capital, trading systems, trading my knowledge, okay, and optimizing teamwork. So if you're not leveraging your trading time, so I need you to move to a fundamental shift. If everything depends on you, there's a problem. So in the next quarter, think leverage. What is about examining your beliefs. Remember, beliefs. What did Abraham believe about what God told him? Examining your belief and checking, look, does this serve my goal? Does this serve my goal? Does this serve my goal? So what if you ask yourself the question, if this same money I'm thinking about making, what if it comes from a smarter system, not just hard work? Okay, what if my timeline depends on my strategy, not my luck? So we have to think better ways. Do you understand? That's leverage. Knowledge, that's leverage. Is there a better way I can improve this thing I'm doing? So if you can't make out time to think, maybe strategic thinking on how to do things better, reduce the time, make more money, reduce the effort, make more money, then there's going to be a problem. So I'm talking about leverage. So 3 things: money is a tool, money flows to value, and leverage is required. So the third thing I'm going to talk about, I just have 2 more to talk about, are systems. I'll just rush it. So income systems. So it's still the same leverage. I hope you're taking notes. I've said so much, but I'll try to summarize it. So income system. So the first kind of income system is that you're trading your time for money. It's fine. Okay. But I want us to think of doing it in another way. What if we use systems to make money? You create it once and you get paid several times. Okay. I can create design once and sell it several times instead of me doing designs every time. So you're a career person, keep your job, but can I build a system-dependent stream of income by my side? You build a system, you can scale the system, okay, and get it to generate income. So the assignment I want to give us is, please, for the next 1 month, if you did not set any goal for yourself, let the goal you're going to set for yourself be, how can I move from being income time dependent, that's my income, into system dependent? What can give me money? Dangote is system dependent. He just built a refinery. The system takes crude oil, brings out fuel, and I collect money. So what can I create that will take in the raw material? It must not be as production by himself, but it could be service-based. You understand? I take in the problem and I solve it and I get paid for it. So those are the things we're going to think about. My income system. How can I move it from being time-based to system-based? Okay. Then the second one is investments. Let me talk about that one. So you're going to get money to work for you. But the tweak here is this. Everything I'm saying, remember I said 30 days, 90 days. If you're investing 0% of your income, you're broke. Okay, you're broke. Now, you may tell me that you're not broke. If you're not broke, please go and invest part of your income. Okay, the first level of investment is that you can put it into a bank and be earning, put it in a fixed deposit. Not savings will not give you anything. So you can, after doing fixed deposit, you can do treasury bill. After doing treasury bill, you can do, there's some capital markets, do you understand, that I know that some of them you can put in some money, maybe like 10M, 20M, and they're paying you like 1M a month. You understand? So it's some kind of capital market stuff, but get a trusted one. I have clients that store their money in dollars. Okay? You buy dollars. It's some form of investment. Okay? And it's increasing value. That works too. Okay, so you can also do that. Yes. I'm sure you're wondering why I'm looking this way. I'm trying to filter the information I'm sharing. So there are different things you can do. You can do land, but just make sure that your money goes somewhere. You can do banking. If it's not enough, leave it in that savings account until it becomes enough to invest in something. But make sure that 10%, that 20% is going somewhere. So remember I said, if it's 0%, you're broke. If it's 10%, then you've started building wealth. Yeah. Then if you're investing 20%, then it means you're getting serious about this matter. Then if you're investing 30%, then you have started compounding wealth. 30% of your income. That's quite a lot. That means 70% is enough for you. So that's the goal. We'll get to a point where we can live on 70%. That is after you must have paid your title and your taxes, or whatever is left, you can still live on 70%. So this is not negotiable. It is not optional. If you don't invest, you're out of the world game. Completely out. 4 levels of investment: financial investments, knowledge investments, network investments, and health investments. Okay. So, and finally, I'm going to look at one more system. So remember, the first thing is your identity system. Second thing is your mindset system. Then the third one is your finance system. Then lastly, I'm going to talk about your decision system. Now, there are frameworks for making money decisions. You must see the difference between the wealthy and the people that are not wealthy is how fast they make decisions. You'll still be thinking, should I not? Maybe somebody has taken the opportunity. This time or next time, somebody has jumped in and they've made their money out of the market and they've left the market. So you must have a framework for decision. I have some videos on YouTube, decision-making framework. You see people that are stuck, they are stuck because they are very slow in making decisions or they don't make decisions at all. So without a framework, you're going to be making so much emotional decisions. You just be doing a lot of second guessing for yourself. You'll be chasing shiny objects. Okay. So the first level is you're going to ask yourself, this thing, does it align with my identity? That's the identity you're building. Now remember, we're building an identity as a wealth creator, as a multiplier, as a builder, and as an investor. Does it align with it? Then secondly, this decision I'm making now, does it help me create value? Thirdly, does it leverage my strengths? Do you understand? Can I excel in this? Will it drag me back? Does it compound? Can I create more returns from it? Can I own it fully? Can I control the outcome? So you must have a decision making. See, now, what you need a framework is that so that when you're delaying to make a decision, you just bring it to that table. It must pass this test. If it passes it, it is a yes. If it does not pass it, it is a no. So that is a decision making framework. I have that video on YouTube. Maybe later I'll share it so that you have a framework that works for you. And you say, if I get 4/5, I've passed this decision. If I get 1/5, it is a no. If I get 3/5, give it more time. Okay. So you must learn to make your decisions 10 times faster. Then finally, that's 4, you must get an accountability system. Wealthy people belong to circles. Okay. They belong to circles. So there has to be somebody that is checking out what you're executing. Now, zero accountability. You may have good intentions, just like you came for this meeting. Very good intention. You want to hear what she wants to say. But zero execution, that means we're back to square one. So with accountability, you get things to begin to happen for you. So you can set up a weekly structure. Have somebody you talk to. You tell them what I've committed to doing, okay? What I've executed, what is blocking me, and what is my commitment this week. So finally, I want us to remember, all I'm after is an identity shift, which was what I showed you in Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Leave your country for your own sake. I'm planning to bless you. Leave, just go. Okay? So you're on the call this morning and you're saying, won't this conflict with my job? No, keep your job, but we're building the system. Build it over the weekend. Build it every morning. Do you understand? Save money, like I said. Do the things I've asked you to say. Do. I'm a founder. I'm already working 60 hours. Yes, you will find time. Okay? So, you will find time. If you don't find the time, then create it. Okay? Because you just have to be strategic. Things have to change. Okay, then you tell yourself, I have limited money. I can't invest because my paycheck is poor. My dear, it took your keep. But you've been telling yourself the same story. It removes. See, now let me tell you how these things work. You get that your paycheck and you invest part of it. The little you have is not enough. You can look for more money to complete it. Money will always flow. Do you understand? It's your mindset telling you it's not enough. You can invest from that thing that you have. You know, if you remove it, I used to do that. Do you understand? I get some inflow. I will take out a huge chunk and go and invest it. Because if you leave it, you think you're rich. But by the time you carry all the money out, you're like, where's all the money? You gotta look for more money. So your salary is 10,000, invest 9,000, gotta look for more money to survive the month. That's how to get these things done. And before you know it, you're investing from 10 to 20, from 20 to 100, from 100 to millions, from millions to billions. It's discipline. It's discipline. Remember I said it's a system. You must have it. You're investing, either it's every month or every month quarter. So don't say I have limited money. No. If you can't invest, you'll be poor. You'll be living paycheck to paycheck. It's time to move on. Then finally, you tell yourself, I'm scared. What if I fail? Yes, so everyone fails. If I tell you I've not failed, I'm a liar. I'm a liar, big time liar. Do you understand? But the question is, are you failing because, while you're building a system, or you're failing because you're stuck? Because if you're failing while building a system, you will learn how not to fail again. As per you're like, this thing I did not work. Well, let me get a look for somebody who's out to do it and get it to work. And with several failures, you will succeed. But you can imagine yourself you're stuck. That's failure in itself. So it's better you fail while trying and keep repeating the process until you get it right. So in conclusion, please, I've said 3 things. 1, system 1. Remember, we're talking about operating systems. Just, leave this call with 4 things for me. 1, I'm creating an income system this quarter. And that income system means I'm shifting from a time dependent. Remember what I taught you? To a system dependent. That's the only way you can build wealth. Remember, it must not depend on your time. It has to be system based. If you cannot leave that thing you're doing for 2 weeks and you will not earn money, then there's a problem. It has to be system based. Then secondly, it has to be, so the first one is an income system. Move from time to system based. Then the second one is an investment system. Get your money working. Okay. This month, you may say, I've been doing 10. It's time to shift to 30. Then let's start doing 30. What are the things you can put money into? Remember, I talked about the first kind of investment is your finance, second, knowledge, third, networks, and the last one is health. Then the third one, I talked about a decision system. The difference between the people that have made it as the millionaires and the ones that are still staring, looking lost, is the decisions they make. If you must make money, okay, then let your decisions be made based on your criteria. It could be 3, it could be 2, 2 cannot work, sorry. It could be 3 so that it can swing to one side. So better 5. Okay, number 1, does it make me money? 2, does it create value? Can I leverage my strengths? Does it compound, and can I own the outcomes? Then if you score 5, then make your decision and go ahead with it. Then finally, you need an accountability system. Okay, so who is checking what you're executing? So I want you to commit to a 30 days transformation. Wow, I've tried though. I think I've gone beyond 40 minutes, but let me round up. So now commit to a 30 days transformation. Okay, now in 30 days, you may not be rich. Okay, you may not have made a fortune, but I can tell you, you'll be different. Very, very different. Number 1, your identity would have shifted. Remember, the identity shift, you have to start working on it every day now. Those things, keep saying it until your mind installs it. Remember, I said an operating system, and now begins to work in your favor. So your identity would have shifted, your mindset would have shifted, your systems will be in place, and your accountability will be very, very active. So now when you now do this, you will start having evidences, and those evidences, small, will begin to compound. Compounding is a life principle. Do you understand? Then your brain, like I said, will start noticing opportunities. You will start making life-defining, results-producing decisions. Then you start building a good future, which is the real transformation I'm talking about. Okay? So if you have any questions, I can take it. I'm planning to start I used to call it an accelerator, okay, where we come, but it used to be 90 days, but now I'm doing 6 weeks because of my schedule. You've gone through this training. You can now say, let me get into the accelerator and see what I can produce in 6 weeks. Okay, so, but if you're not joining the accelerator, please, for week 1, work on your identity and your mindset. From this Monday, please. Week 2, okay, work on your systems audits. How can I move my system from income to I mean, from time-based to system-based. Then 3, work on your decision frameworks so that it will guide you at each point. If I can make fast decisions, do you understand? I can increase my chances of reaching results. And finally, have an accountability system. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. So I'm going to take questions. So wealth is as a result of operating from a different system, okay? And that system can be learned. Systems can be built, systems can be copied. You're not broken, you did not fail. You don't need fixing. You just need to operate from a new operating system. That is all. I want your way to these world operating systems. I can tell you everything will change, okay? Not because you're different, no, but you're operating differently. Your results will show. Your results go show. So the question is not, can I make money? Can I build wealth? No, the result is, am I willing to shift my identity to start operating with this new system? So I've given you everything you need. So I need you to start today and make that decision. Thank you so much as I welcome you officially to your own wealth operating system. So I can take any questions if you have.